something no chief ever wants to do. It's a phone call you never want to get.
2 Georgia police officers shot, one of them killed in the line of duty.
They were acting suspicious. Suddenly, Spangler pulled out a handgun and shot both officers.
A detective, wife, and mother stolen from the force and her family by a single gunshot.
It's not common for an investigator to wear a vest all day at work. Maybe a policy we need to rethink.
Tonight, the suspected shooter is in custody as the community tries to come to grips with this unthinkable tragedy.
We're such a small county with 40,000 people. You just think it'll never happen here. We're just heartbroken.
It's something that had never happened in the history of the Polk County Police Force. 2 officers shot in one day. Tragically, 29-year-old Detective Kristin Hearne lost her life. The second officer was wearing a bulletproof vest and survived relatively unhurt. And police say this is the man behind it all, a Walker County man with a checkered past and outstanding warrants. Now, Fox 5's George Franco joins us now live in Polk County, where 2 suspects are being held tonight. George?
Russ, flags are flying at half-staff here at the Polk County Jail and all over the county, really, for Rockmart High School graduate Detective Kristin Hearne, who was killed in the line of duty today. The 2 suspects involved are being held here without bond. A line of Polk County Police and Sheriff's squad cars follow a hearse away from the Polk County Police Department. Investigators say they were headed to the GBI Crime Lab in Decatur to escort the body of 29-year-old Detective Kristin Hearne back home after she was killed in the line of duty.
Kristin was the type of officer who lit up any room she was in. You always knew when she was present.
Chief Kenny Dodd and GBI Director Vernon Keenan told reporters Detective Hearne had responded as a backup officer to help rookie officer David Goodrich on a suspicious vehicle call on Santa Claus Road early this morning. As they were looking for clues on the Ford Escape left on the side of the road, investigators say 22-year-old Amanda Ruth and 31-year-old Seth Spangler walked out of the woods, Spangler with a gun.
Suddenly, Spangler pulled out a handgun and shot both officers. It was more or less an ambush. I mean, they come out and surprised these officers, and he drew the gun before they even knew what happened.
We're told Officer Hearne died at the hospital. Officer Goodrich, only 6 months on the force, survived when his vest stopped the slug. Police quickly nabbed Amanda Ruth, but spent hours searching for Spangler, who was arrested in the afternoon.
He came out of the woods with no clothes on and just gave himself up.
Police say Spangler was wanted out of Walker County for a felony probation violation and had a long criminal history. Detective Hearne leaves behind her parents, a husband, a police officer with Aragon Police, and a 3-year-old son. She becomes the first Polk County police officer killed in the line of duty since the department was established in the 50s.
Words can't express the sorrow and the hurt that we feel right now as an agency, and our heart goes out to the family.
Spangler is facing felony charges of murder and felony assault. Ruth, his female accomplice, is facing other felony charges. Officer Goodrich was taken to the hospital and released. Funeral plans for Detective Hearne are still pending. In Polk County tonight, I'm George Franco, Fox 5 News.
Well, our hearts go out to everyone who loved her. George, thanks. As George mentioned, Detective Hearne was a 5-year veteran of the Polk County Police Department. She grew up in Georgia and graduated from Rockmart High School. She leaves behind a husband who's a City of Aragon police officer and a 3-year-old son. Of course, we will continue to stay on top of the story. We'll update you when the suspects make their first court appearances. And in the meantime, you can find updates anytime online and on the Fox 5 News app. Well, tonight, the Fulton